Hello everyone, I'm back again. Guess who's back again. So I feel like doing the, what is it called? Reading habits, that's the readables. Is that her name? Yeah. Is that her name, like legit? Yeah, the Readables did it with the booktuber, and I was like, oh, they didn't tag me, but I really feel like doing it. So, here I am in my Twilight sweater, and let's get this show started. Question number 1. Do you have a certain place at home for reading? Yes, I do. I will link my Day 7 update from Booktubeathon because that was the challenge that day to show where we read our books. I used to read on my bed, but that's really uncomfortable. I did not enjoy it so much reading it on my bed. And I was like, oh, so I made a nice little area in my room that is literally my reading corner. Question number 2, bookmark a random piece of paper. I like bookmarks. I have a nice assortment of bookmarks. I do also like to use movie tickets, like my Cinebeast show. This was for, oh, this is The Fault in Our Stars. Oh wait, I think I already put that in my book. I have to check. But yeah, I mostly have like bookmarks. This is my absolute favorite one. It's a piece of wood, and then it has like, they do a lot of this type of art where they get a really soft like tin foil type thing, but it's thicker than regular foil, and they kind of etch out a drawing. And then I have these like little cloth ones. These are from Guatemala. So yeah. Question number 3. I think that's the question we're on. Question number 3. Can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter a certain amount of pages? I have to stop at the end of a chapter, or like, you know, when books have, oh, you know, there's a name for it. Let's see if this book has it. I know there's a name for it. Where it's not necessarily the end of a chapter, but it's kind of skipping time. It's starting a new thought. Here we go. Like, you see that? How it's pretty much, it's like a little mini chapter within a chapter. I know there's a name for it. Don't tell me, but you know, it's starting off a whole new thing. I can stop there, but I prefer to finish chapters. It really bothers me. Like, let's say I had to go eat dinner and do some stuff. Well, I'm going to stop with as much pain as it is to go do what I gotta do. And then I'm gonna come back, finish my chapter, and then continue doing what I'm doing. I have to stop at a chapter. It's just, I have to complete the thought process or the day, whatever that chapter is going through. I have to complete it until, like, yeah, it's unsettling. Number 4, do you eat or drink while reading? I don't like to eat because I obviously don't want to dirty my books. I mean, I like to read while I'm eating, like magazines or whatever's on the table. I'll read like the warning labels of things. If there's something on the table I'm gonna probably read, it's an issue. It's just what I do, but I don't actually like to read while I'm eat while I'm reading my books. But I do like to have water with me or a drink, because I get thirsty, and it's just not natural to not drink for such a long period of time. That's just foolish. Question number 5. Multitasking, music or TV while reading. The only time I can multitask is if, like when I was in school and I would read in school, I'd have to multitask because I'm listening to all these loud ass children around me. So I'd have to like suck it up. But if I had the option, I would always put headphones on and listen to music. And the music just has to go with the book. It can have words. It doesn't have to be classical, or it doesn't have to like not have words, you know. But like for some reason, the Twilight soundtrack, the first Twilight soundtrack for Twilight, I was able to listen to that whole CD. Well, I kind of listen to a song on repeat. That's another thing that I do. If I find a song that's really good, I'll listen to it on repeat. So American Mouth Flightless Bird, I listened to that song on repeat for The Likeness by Tana French. That was like what I did. And for the Night World series, all those 3 books, those huge books by L.J. Smith, I listened to one song, and it was Base Hunter's The Beat. because it was just perfect. And I was in school and it was FCAT and I didn't have to take FCAT. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to listen to music. But I can't watch TV because then I'm going to keep looking up and like looking up. So, or I'm just not going to watch TV or not read the book and then have to reread. My comprehension level is not all that great, okay? I will read and then forget what I read if I'm too distracted. Let's go on. Book number 6, one book at a time or several at once. I used to be a one book at a timer, but okay, and it doesn't make, it's honestly no difference. The problem is when I'm reading just one book, I am so engrossed in it that I kind of read it a little too fast. And by the end of it, I only remember like certain things. Like I read the Divergent series in like 4 or 5 days. So I need to reread each book and, you know, go a little slower with it because I remember what happened. I just read them not too long ago. But I just feel like I need to give it that other, like, chance. Oh my god, it's really bothering me. These are out of order. So I'm actually currently reading 2 books right now. I'm rereading Twilights because I haven't read them since I read them the first time. And that was like 5 years ago. And I'm reading Hello, Goodbye, which is amazingly sad and beautiful. But I'm liking that because I'm rereading Twilight at a slower pace because I read all of those books in such a tiny amount of time. And I'm reading Hello, Goodbye at a nice slow pace too. I need to like just slow down and just like chill. I kind of just get so excited sometimes. 7, reading at home or everywhere. It depends where everywhere is. Preferably I like to read at home, but I can read at the beach. Well, really not the beach because I've tried, but then I'm always getting in the water because it's too hot in Florida to stay out of the water the whole time. So not the beach, but if I go to the pool and I don't want to go in the water, I can take a book and I'll just be fine. I'll read. And I tend to get a lot of reading done. I'm like, because it gets to that point where you just block everything out completely and you're just like so engrossed in that. Dang, I gotta unlock my phone again. Question number 8, reading out loud or silently in your head. It depends what I'm reading. If it's a classic, I'm gonna start off reading out loud because I have to like hear myself and I have to be able to like put everything together. But once I'm good and I already have like the world mapped out in my head, I'm fine. For the most part, I don't read out loud. And poetry. I like to read poetry out loud. I think that's the only proper way to do it. It's amazing. So I really, really like reading poetry out loud. But that's like the only thing. Other than that, in my head. Unless it's been like a really long time, because when I stopped reading and then I started up again thanks to Twilight, I was having issues like just putting it on my head, you know? You have to get back into that exercise. So I would read out loud. So it's another time. If I've just taken too much time off of reading, and it's been years and I need to get back into it, I'll read out loud. So it gives me something to focus on because my mind is always all over the place. So it's hard to just like hone in on one thing. Question number 9. Do you read ahead or even skip pages? No. The only thing that I do, and I can't help it, my eyes move involuntarily. Like let's say you're reading the top of the page and you know that something really amazing is going to happen that same page. My eyes, as I'm reading, will skim down really quickly trying to see if I can see something, which I always do. So even though I'm going to read it in like 2 seconds, I still have to spoil it for myself. But no, I do not read pages that are ahead or at the end of the book. I don't see the point in that. The whole point is the mystery of what's going to happen at the end of the book. And if I do that, I'm not going to read the book. That's just how it is. Number 10. Do you break the spine or keep it like new? Wasn't there the dog-eared pages? No. Breaking the spine or keeping it new? I don't really care. No, like breaking spine doesn't really bother me. I mean, I know it just shows love. Like if you've read your book a lot, you're gonna see a broken spine. Now hardcovers and slipcovers, because they don't actually have that, I'm gonna add that to the same question. Like pretty much, how do you take care of your books? I take off my slipcovers when I'm reading a hardcover. I think it's annoying to have a slipcover there that just keeps like moving up and down, and it's just annoying. Not just that, but I want my slipcovers to stay as nice as possible. But yeah, I don't mind breaking spines. Like, I have this one book that I've read about 1,000,000 times, and the spine's completely cracked in a bunch of million places. But I mean, I read it. I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, not take care of my books. I take extremely good care of my books. They're everything. I just don't want crappy looking books, but they don't need to look brand spanking new. Just saying. And the last question, do you write in your books? Yes, I do, depending on what book it is. If it is... Okay, honestly, this sounds really stupid, but if I care a lot about, like, the book... Because there's just some books I want to look nicer than others. Like my Twilight books. I will never write in those. I have, like, my Post-its, that, like, mark down my favorite sections and things like that. But then I wrote in the Esther Earl book. Because it was like, I could. It was just a different type of book. I'm biased. Each book is not made the same to me. My Eat, Pray, Love book. Oh, I highlighted. I wrote like a maniac. I think usually I will write to my paperback books and not to my hardcovers. Occasionally there might be a hardcover where I'm like, oh, that's a little too amazing. I seriously need to highlight that. But... no, I don't even put Post-its in most of mine. I don't take notes while I read. And if I do, it's just because now I'm starting to, because then I want to review books, but you know, you're going to forget stuff as you're going. Something that you thought was horrible or something that you thought was good. And that at the end of it, unless it was an amazing read, it was just kind of neutral. So I'm working on that. And yeah, that was just me talking to you guys randomly about books and my habits and stuff. Yeah. Bye.